elections on the 12th of August 2021, political players have heightened their campaigns. They've heightened their strategies in ensuring that they take up the leadership for the next 5 years. The PF are confident that come the 12th of August, they will retain power. But how will Zambia look like under the leadership of the Patriotic Front for the next 5 years? My guest this evening is Bizwell Mutale, Patriotic Front Mobilization Committee member, as well as aspirant candidate for Munali constituency. Mr. Mutale, good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of The Assignment.
Good evening and good evening to the viewers.
Those joining the conversation on the Muvi TV Plus bouquet, Channel 1, the Top Star Decoder, Channel 104. Later on, you'll be able to come through and give us your contributions via the number that is scrolling down your TV screen. Yet those that are joining the conversation from across the continent of Africa, use our social media platforms. Our handle on Facebook is Ask Movie TV. Our handle on YouTube is Ask Movie TV. Get to those two particular platforms. Give us your comments and contributions regarding the topic we have at hand tonight. We're looking at the Patriotic Front coming into power for the next 5 years. How will Zambia look like? Let's begin off with, I know for a fact that you've been moving around the country, for the past few months. You moved around Lusaka, moved around Southern Province and other provinces. How would you describe the political playing field in your rallies?
Thank you very much. The political playing field around the country is very much fair and it's doing very well. I did not find any hindrances as we were working on the ground. Definitely, there's a lot of positive energy on the ground and wanting to get the things done. And the people are looking forward to PF for the message that we are giving to the people on the ground. And there is a lot of hope. And that's why you are seeing that around the country, the people are joining Patriotic Front from the opposition parties to go to the ruling party. So for me, I would say the ground actually is vibrant and ready.
The ground is vibrant and ready. Someone would wonder, really, what kind of message you are preaching to the people that you are meeting as, as a member of the mobilization, considering the fact that many still feel that things have not gone the way that they opted them to move. For example, I'll give you an example. When the Patriotic Front came into power in 2011, they did promise a number of things to the people of Zambia, one of which is more money in their pockets, creation of more jobs, lower taxes, and many other things that the Patriotic Front did promise. I'm wondering, because many of these promises, people have not felt them. What message of hope are you giving to the people when you go to mobilize, Mr. Mutale?
Look, we are setting the party that has got the vision and the party for the people. I want to say that to you. Over the period, Zambia has been into 3 political regimes, which is number 1, UNIP. Number 2 is MMD. Now it's Patriotic Front. Patriotic Front has gone aggressively to demonstrate what is good for the country and the people of Zambia. Look at the infrastructure. What the people want is to have an economy that is moving forward. Any country to move forward or to grow the business, you need to have infrastructure and modern infrastructure. Zambia have had a fair share of experiencing bad roads, whereby from here, for you to get from here to Mazabuka, you take a long time, more than actually about 4 hours to 5 hours because of the potholes on the road and the road which was not user-friendly. But look at it now. I can tell you that I'll be in Mazabuka in the next 2 hours. I'll dash there, I'll get there, because the party is working to change the economy of our country and the landscape of our country. Look at Lusaka. In a short possible time, look what has happened in Lusaka. The face of Lusaka has changed because the party is working, the president is working. If you do want to feel that people need to see the change, people are seeing the change, and the people are embracing the change that is coming, done by the government. There is a lot that has happened. And I've seen that in most cases that especially our friend who should tell the truth about what the government is doing have turned the eye on the other side and proclaim otherwise.
Mr. Mutale, it is not about friends who are proclaiming the truth otherwise. I meant to believe that things are visible to the eye of every Zambian. You speak about the roads that are in Lusaka. Quite all right, yes, Lusaka has changed its face. But what is the economic benefit of these roads to the residents of Kaunda Square, the residents of Chipata Compound, the residents of many other rural areas that see no economic benefit to these roads? But let me remind you also, Mr. Mutale, that in 2015, just 5 years ago, when you are still in power, all right, the Patriotic Front, let's look at the price at which you are buying petrol. We're buying petrol at 7 kwacha, 16 ngwe. Today, Mr. Mutale, people are buying petrol at 17 kwacha, 18 ngwe. The dollar in 2015 was around 6.45 kwacha. Today, the dollar is ready for marriage because it's above 21. Milimil in 2015 was selling at around 68 kwacha. Today, the highest note in the country, 100 kwacha, cannot buy Milimil, Mr. Mutale. Our national debt, Mr. Mutale, in 2015 was about $4.7 billion. 2021, our debt is over $18.5 billion. What is it that the Patriotic Front is preaching? What message of hope when inflation as of today, Mr. Mutale, is above 22%? Prices of commodities have skyrocketed. The president alleged that the reason why prices of commodities have skyrocketed is because the private sector is trying to sabotage the economy. When all these situations that I've spoken about are the ones leading to why we are buying Milimil at over 132 kwacha. What message of hope really?
The oil is regulated, and we follow suit. You are talking of a dollar currency fluctuating. It's not only Zambia which is hit by an unstable currency. It's now a year. The entire world has not concentrated on looking at the economy, has not concentrated in building its revenue. But the countries, including Zambia, they have concentrated to deal with the COVID pandemic, which has seen so many families into tears. And one of the biggest tears that we have actually experienced in the world, it's governments. And the people rush to say government has failed the people without looking at the fact, what is happening. It's everyone affected. It's now when you are seeing that the countries are finding means and ways to cope with the pandemic, to manage their day-to-day lives. I'm talking to you now. Tomorrow I'll hear that you are sick. Down the line, you are no longer with us. It's a worry to the government, and the government need to prioritize the health sector, which has seen the whole year the government sector has been focusing to deal with our pandemic. The government have tried by all means at least to bring good health to the people. Those are priorities. Now, if you say the government has failed, do not consider the way the government has failed. No. I'll tell you one thing. There must be a sense of ownership. It's not the I business. It's we. Patriotic Front is a big family. It's a government that is ruling. The opposition, they are not interested to see the positivity of the government and the president, what they're doing. These challenges that are being pushed back to the government, there's a positive way to it. And also I want to say, you, the House medias, you have actually taken a note of deviating from the truth and proclaim the negative message of what the government is doing. that give us a sense of who are we dealing with, who are we talking with. If we are all Zambians with one heart as patriots to move forward, we must move as a team. Not others have stepped back and they hold their seats and they criticize. That's not how we are going to grow our country. Growing our country is a teamwork. Criticism doesn't help. I'll give you an example about our country. Our country has been infested with the social media. Social media play a major role to destroy our economy. We should actually proclaim positivity about our country, protecting our government. The government is not a business entity. The government is a protected institution that defines how the people of Zambia will live and will see the country tomorrow. But the social media, which has actually reached the international countries around the world in a short possible time, it has discredited us.
What is so unpatriotic, Mr. Mutale, about one being truthful, being very truthful and not being economic with the truth by stating that our inflation has increased? Our inflation currently is at 22%. What is so unpatriotic, Mr. Mutale, with one saying Zambia is in a mountain of debt in excess of 18.5 billion? Mr. Mutale, what is unpatriotic by one seeking accountability that PF in 2011 you told us that there'll be more money in people's pockets? Where is the money in people's pockets? What is unpatriotic about that, Mr. Mutale?
You see, when you say money in people's pocket, priority in the government is to make sure that the country has received its main concerns, which we can state as we speak now. Infrastructure, assist to bring the economy and also lend that money back into our pocket. The government has got a division or a department under the Ministry of Finance that take care of day-to-day financial affairs of the country. It's a daily business that our country is focusing into. There have been so many challenges. I want to be honest with you. The politics of Patriotic Front, and I think it's one of the best. I'm not going to say this because I'm PF. No. I'm going to say this the way it is. We need to be loyal to our country, loyal to our party in power, loyal to the president. We cannot every day in and out wake up and sending critics. And if I may stop you to say, can you at least be more specific? Tell us exactly what you are asking and which angle are you coming to. People need to know the truth. You ask a question when you know that this question has already been tackled. Our inflation is being dealt with. It's happening, and you will see where this government is taking our economy. Without a doubt, we have got the capacity as a PF. The Ministry of Finance is doing very well. The Reserve Bank is doing very well. They are procedurally that are internally executed, not publicly, but internally. And when that part is done, the people will see. People want the results, not how we are baking the results. They want to see the results.
Do you agree with me that from 2015, things have been going down, and not getting any better?
I don't think I would agree with you. I'm going to tell you that Zambia, I travel a lot around the world. My job that I do, I deal with African countries, Asian countries, European and South American countries. I have seen countries that are well developed, But when I compare Zambia to those countries, I think Zambia is coming very fast
But in terms
to
of what?
overtake those countries.
In terms of what, Mr. Mutale? When you say Zambia is overtaken, in which area, to be specific? When you say Zambia is taking
My
over,
brother,
in which area, to be
my
specific?
brother, I want you to be a Zambian.
I am a Zambian, very
No,
much.
the way you talk, I want you to be a Zambian. I want you to understand that our economy does not base on one factor, no. There are major factors. Zambia is a landlocked country. Zambia develop policies that also assist our neighboring countries to work with. Zambia is not a dictator or economic state. No. We share our economy with our neighboring countries. The stability of the economy in Zambia, it's us Zambians who should also pay attention. As I earlier stated, the government is not a business entity, but a public protected institution that governs the policies of the public affairs in doing business. If you open your eyes and you want to see what this government has done under the leadership of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, you will agree with me. There is no other government that have actually developed to this extent in the state that we are in. We have got so many negative voices that have got nothing to offer in return. But so many argumentative. The government is not doing this. But you cannot even see a little that is being done by the government. With all this effort, in the background, the government is busy working, manifesting a lot of things, which we are enjoying. I'll tell you that we are enjoying.
When you say we are enjoying, who are you referring to?
As Zambians, we are enjoying. Because this is not a game of I business, it's we business. You can't say I'm not happy if you are not happy. In what capacity?
The Patriotic Front, you claim, Mr. Mutale, is a party or is a government that has developed this country better than any other government. You mean MMD and UNIP?
And UNIP, yes.
Let's come to UNIP. UNIP provided for us free education. UNIP ensured that milimi was very cheap. Let's come to the MMD. MMD did pretty well in terms of fighting corruption under the late President Mwanawasa. We did see for the first time the kwacha was trading around 3 kwacha against the dollar. Milimi was around 36 kwacha. So when you say the Patriotic Front has highly developed this country better than these other governments, I'm forced to ask, Mr. Mutale, in what way really? You mean the roads, the flyover bridges, 3, 4 that we are seeing around, along Greatest Road? What do you mean with him sometimes?
You see, I need to remind you, I want you to be more specific. I'm not going to sit here and you ask me the federal questions that don't add value to today's lives. Look at, when you talk of milimi was costing at 2 kwacha, look at where we are. Zambia does not produce fertilizer, number one. We import. And the government is trying by all means to subsidize the farmers to protect the commodity, the food commodity. If you look at the mirrors, government don't own the mirror. Government is now looking into putting up its own mirror so that we are able to guide and control the price of millimil. It's a staple food. The farmers, they buy imported fertilizer. That is so expensive. For a farmer to produce X amount of a bag of millimil, it costs him 3 times to produce 1 bag of 90 kg. Now, can you think of the price you are talking in today's generation?
We do not control the forex. Forex is a global situation that is happening now. And as our government is actually trying to bring everything down. Not so long, the president actually complained about how the commodities are skyrocketing in the country. And he questioned, he said, should I actually put the, what word can I use? Can I put a price control to all these commodities? Because you would wonder why things are justified.
And precisely the question, Mr. Mutale, is why is it that things were much more better under UNIP, under MMD?
How many years was that?
And this is an honest question that people want to know, Mr. Mutale. That look, Mr. Mutale, we used to buy meal meal at this, and I'm picking on commodity because this is our staple food. All right, Mr. Mutale, we used to buy meal meal at some point at 30 kwacha. What happened?
I need to answer you this, my brother.
Yeah.
This government is not going to impose anyone's business at the expense of the hard-working Zambians. The farmers, it's an industry that has sacrificed a lot. And the only government that is actually paying more attention to the farmers is Patriotic Front government. For a farmer to produce a 50 kg bag of maize, to come and sell the 90 kg bag of maize at about 58 kwacha. Can you look at the input? There is a labor that actually farmers don't even put into account, boss, because it will be beyond. Farmers sacrifice a lot. President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, he paid more attention to the farmers. And he's also looking at how can the farmers be protected to run their business successfully. Because the farmers are always swallowing. We are talking about maize, not any other produce. We are talking about maize. The price of maize is low. If you ask me today to say, how many farmers are smiling for producing the maize? There are very few. But as you have said, it's our staple food. We cannot stop it. We had the droughts and the droughts in the past few years. When I say droughts, it's serious droughts, which seen a lot of people suffocated in our country. And some of the opposition took an opportunity to declare Zambia, that Zambia is a disaster management that need to come in, and from abroad. But the government did not go abroad to go and import the maize to support the need in our country, in certain areas where drought really hit hard. The maize came from here in Zambia because of a good policy that if this side it goes down, on the other side we are able to sustain ourselves. Zambia is a self-sustained country. One thing that I'll state is that you do not want to accept the truth. You want to debate useless debates that doesn't even help the government moving forward. Useless debates that does not even help the people of Zambia to move forward. You are stagnant and circling. You don't want to see what is happening in our country. The day we are going to be doing that, our country, you are going to see that our country has moved forward. Until then, we need to change, and the ownership need to be in our heart as Zambians.
The President of the Republic of Zambia would disagree strongly with you, Mr. Mutale, and I will tell you why. The President recently launched an economic recovery program. This is to entail that the economy is not doing well. And so this is not something that is sacred. The President himself declared that the economy is not doing well, hence the need to come up with an economic recovery program. And so if you're going to tell us that things are well, Mr. Mutale, then you're lying.
I agree with you. I agree with you. As earlier on I stated, what has exposed our economy to this extent, and which the government is actually looking into it, looking into economic recovery. He opened a commissioning, I think, for all the businesses here, I think, which you attended, I saw you were there, is to find a way how can Zambia step out of this pandemic in terms of economic recovery. It takes a team to do that, and that's what he's doing. But things went down not only for Zambia, but for the rest of the world. We are in the same situation we found ourselves. You cannot brace yourself to be better than any other country with what we have been put in. I'll give you an example. Zambia is better than any other country during this pandemic. The president
is better than any other country.
I'm saying during the pandemic period, Zambia remained the better in terms of, in terms of the restrictions that were put.
Oh, yeah.
Zambia remained the best. And the President, Dr. Edgar Lungu, was praised by many outside the country. They praised how Zambia managed this COVID. Other countries, it's way beyond. But when we talk of economic recovery, Zambia is moving into a right direction. Zambians will never endured the harsh, restrictions that we experience in other countries, where you're not even able to leave your house. The president says the people of Zambia, in terms of looking at how they are managing their day-to-day businesses, if those restrictions are made harsh, people will suffer. But he relaxed during this period. He relaxed it. And the economy managed to balance a little bit, during COVID. People of Zambia have been working. People of Zambia have been earning their living during the COVID, which I can tell you, for example, South Africa was a total shut. Where I could actually, to get out of my house to go and buy bread, I need a permit. That was the harsh restrictions.
I love the fact that you brought in South Africa in this conversation, because South Africa has been one of the worst hit in terms of COVID in Africa. Their cases have exceeded 1 million, people that have been infected with the coronavirus. But yet, all right, I love the fact that you brought in South Africa. Yet their currency has not depreciated to unprecedented levels like ours, the kwacha.
My brother, I need to be more specific with you.
Yeah.
And allow me to speak freely.
Yes, please, Mr. Mutale, go ahead.
We have some people within our communities that do not take sense of pride to our mother Zambia. When you complain, when you start complaining, and the answer is in front of you, why do you want to waste your time and start debating the truth that you know? You want to take the egg and you want to argue what is inside the egg when you know. There's a yolk inside the egg. You know, and you have to start debating. The positivity of our country starts with us, with me and you and everybody else. Then our country will be positive. There is a lot of negativity that comes from certain type of people, not every Zambian, certain type of people who want to portray the image of Patriotic Front, the image of the president. When you give them the platform, including certain opposition leaders, they have nothing to offer. You can put him on the platform with you. He's got nothing to offer, but negative after negative. Not even a single positive coming out. We are one Zambia, one nation. We have one president in our country, one government. They are living in this government. They are enjoying the fruits of Patriotic Front. But they are complaining this and things that are in their face. Do we have to continue enjoying that? No. My answer is no. We move on and do what is right for the country. Not what the mourners are saying, but what is good for the country and the economy of our country. The government, it's really working. Patriotic Front has put up with all the social media scandalizing disguised accounts. You open an account on social media with a number from there, and you start on the social media blogging fake stories, and you are proud of that, social media blogging, and you are destroying the country. The world is reading what you are sending there, no conscious. If you do not like someone, tell him to the face, my friend, I don't like what you're doing. Stop it. Not you going into the social media, start lying. And that tendency has contributed to the declining of our economy, because the economy is made by us. Our culture adds value to our economy, but our culture, we have degraded it ourselves as Zambians. Those who are involved in those kind of squabbling, they have contributed a lot. The president, every morning, he came on the radio. There's an advert running proclaiming that social media is supposed to be for journalists, because all the journalists now, we don't know which angle they are coming from. We don't know what tomorrow is going to be saying. It's a professional. We have allowed the social media to determine the face, because you can start a conversation, a fake conversation, on social media. ZICTA, together with the government, is looking into that. There's a bill that is being proposed. I can say that if that bill is passed soon, we will see the rising of our economy, and our culture will be restored, because right now our culture is destroyed. We are human beings who are being judged of what is happening in the social media. Lies have taken control of our nation. You start sending messages insulting our national leaders on the media, and you put even your name there, so media or TV, whatever. It is not how we should control our economy. The truth must be told. Media houses have been destroyed because of lies, fabricating stories. When he said she, you say he, so you can create a conversation. That need to change, and we need to find a common ground to restore our culture. Every country that is headed to a greater success, our culture is a free economy, if you do not know. People will embrace to come and see Zambians because of our culture. Our way of life, it's our culture.
My question again, sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Mutale. I love how passionate you are about social media and how it should be regulated, but my question was not about social media. My question, Mr. Mutale, was, you spoke about the fact that one of the reasons why we are not doing well, as a country in terms of our economy is because we are hard hit by the COVID-19. You gave an example of South Africa, and I said if you're going to speak about South Africa actually was the hardest hit in Africa in terms of COVID-19 numbers, which exceeded over 1 million. But if you look at how they manage the economy, and I gave a practical example on their currency, the rand. The rand hasn't been depreciating at the level at which the kwacha has been, depreciating. We've not yet hit even, many numbers in terms of deaths and those that are hospitalized. But our currency keeps on depreciating amidst the COVID-19. And my question is, why this disparity? A country that has been hard hit by the COVID-19, because all of us, when I featured Patriotic Front members, most of the answers that they give me in regards to why our economy has, declined is because the COVID-19. But let's give an example of South Africa. Like I said earlier,
sorry, my brother. I needed to. I'm answering your question. I'm saying, when you talk of South Africa, and I'll give you a few examples in South Africa.
Of course.
South Africa and Zambia, the difference between the two countries that we have, there's a sense of ownership, okay? A sense of ownership, where every citizen take an account, and whether the government is that is in power, you don't like it, but there is a law that is being followed by everyone who belongs to a different party. That law, one government, one president, okay? That law is being practiced. I'm just giving you an example here for that question. You say, why is our economy and our currency? I'm repeating again, and I'll make it as a layman for you to understand it properly. tourism, let's put it that way. Every country on this planet Earth depends on tourism. That's where the easy generation of income from tourism. But we have destroyed the tourism because the most thing as Zambians, we should do, not only Zambians, we should sell is our culture. Our culture is number one. We have got many tribes. If I can tell you now to say, let's put different cultures here. We line them, the way they dress, the way they eat, the kind of food they make. Just that alone, it's an income, it's a revenue to the country. But before we get to that, or before, let's say we have moved to that, by the way we are portraying ourselves as Zambians, those that do not believe, portraying our country. What do we demonstrate to the rest of the world determines our strength. We need to restore that. And that has been brought by those who do not want to agree that Patriotic Front is in power, who think that they will be able to change our economy. PF is doing what it needs to do to get the people going and moving. I think you are enjoying a democratic rights here. I don't see anyone complaining. The democratic rights, that's why you can afford to pick up a phone and start insulting the leaders of the government. It's a democracy, and the government leaders, they have all sit back, let the people talk. Now it has got to a stage where now the government is concerned. They are looking at what are the challenges that will come with this kind of insult and this kind of social media and so on. Is the question you are asking. Our economy depends on our culture. The values, we have moved the values of our land. Social media leaks anything, and that's untruthful. Tomorrow you can even put something on social media, Excellency so and so has passed on, which is not even true. You cannot turn the country into a propaganda because you have got rights or you are in a democratic society. Certain things need to be attended to, and that's what the government is doing, to restore these values. When we restore these values to oneness as Zambians and to have that sense of ownership, our government will move forward, our economy will move forward.
Let's get to another issue away from the economy, Mr. Mutale. Are you happy in the performance of your campaign targets? I know you've been moving around the country to mobilize for the party. Are you happy with the targets that you set out initially for yourselves as a Patriotic Front?
I'm very happy. Definitely, I'm very happy.
Mm.
Yeah.
What are some of the targets that you had set out? Maybe you should ask it that way.
Look, what we have and what I've been really working on is to make sure that our country, those that are not in Patriotic Front, they join Patriotic Front, because there are people out there who are actually praising Patriotic Front, but they need to be given a hand to be received and also to be directed. In many cases, in a lot of areas I've traveled, people they have said the PF has never been here, PF has never been here, and they will scream to be part of Patriotic Front. I have enjoyed that, and I've really created a lot of relationship around the country through the members that we have received in Patriotic Front, and we are doing very well with them.
How's been the receivership from how's been the message been received by the people?
Very well, very, very well. I'm going to say to you...
And also, I'd like to know the type of message, really, that you've been given to the people, Mr. Mutale, in terms of rekindling the hope again to join the Patriotic Front, rekindling the hope again to vote for His Excellency the President. What kind of message have you been centering your mobilizations on? You
see, I am not going to say this because I'm in Patriotic Front. You know, I'm going to say what the people are saying.
Of course.
People out there, they are telling us what the President and the government of PF has done in many areas. Before we could start preaching, it's difficult for me to say I should just start preaching the message to the people. The people preach the message to us. What was lacking and what was missing between the people and Patriotic Front is Patriotic Front to take a step to reach to the people. Many people are looking forward to Patriotic Front. You know, in our country, we have got a democracy again. I'm going to repeat that. We've got democracy. People have got a choice to belong to a part of their choice. Many people in certain areas where I have been, they are voting for the opposition because it's the one which is there already. There's no any other party. And the mandate that we have been given in the PF is actually to move into those areas where we can see that the PF did not perform very well. And the PF did not perform very well in those areas because the PF did not go there. Now we are going there in those areas. What we are going to be seeing in this coming election, this is not just any other election. This is a fundamental election which is going to define our nation, to define our people, how we live. As a team in PF, we have moved out into all the areas. I think you are seeing people out there. They are busy trying to mobilize. But the people we are mobilizing, in their hearts, they are ready. What they need is a hand to hold each other so that we can have a clear understanding and receive them into a Patriotic Front. The work we do is very interesting.
You've been working very hard, extremely hard, especially in Southern Province, to mobilize for His Excellency the President. Tell us about your experience in Southern Province. How have been the mobilization experience in Southern Province?
Look, I have enjoyed working in Southern Province. In most areas that I have been to, look, the people are looking for a hand to Patriotic Front, joining the party. We have rekindled the light in Southern Province, and we have given hope to the people of Southern Province as mobilization. I think 2 weeks ago, we were in Monze Central and we went to Monze West. I'll be honest, when we got there, the people, they say the PF has never been here in this region. We have always wanted to receive the president here and to meet the people here. Southern Province don't have the MP for Patriotic Front ticket. We don't have. And now, this time, people, they want to have those MPs. And it's our duty to make sure that we have actually intensified the mobilization. And also, we are going to be working now, going forward, we're going to be working with the aspiring candidates to make sure at least they win the seats in Southern Province. There is no single seat. And the funny part is that there is no seat for PF in Southern Province. All the seats are for the opposition. But this time, the people are looking to Patriotic Front because of the work that has been done in Southern Province. PF has really taken a lot of development there, and the people are seeing. I'll give you an example. Go to Dundumwezi. The people of Dundumwezi, they said, we want the president. We want to work with the president. The president has brought a lot of development. They have got the tower networks, have been put in that where there was nothing. We have the power, electricity, delivered to the area where there was nothing. If you know Dundumwezi, you know what I'm trying to say. And then you look at the road from Kalomo to Itesteji. That road is a feeder road, but that road has brought so much joy to the people of Dundumwezi. Look at how much energy that the government is putting in Dundumwezi, where actually Dundumwezi did not vote for the president. The results speak for itself.
Of course.
But Patriotic Front never give up. President Edgar Chagwalungu, he is focusing for the entire country, not where they voted him only, no. I had an opportunity to work with the president. Everywhere we have traveled in all the provinces we have been and the districts, areas, region, you just land. He's launching projects. We just land. I'll give you an example. Look at Mongu. Mongu used to be for the opposition. But the president, his request to work with the people is through development. A lot of development has gone into Western Province. When I was there, I was even shocked. I asked a question, when does the president do all these things? He is working 24/7. There are people they have seen, they say, no. This is the correct government to go with. Western Province, as we speak, is a vibrant, patriotic party province. And people are happy. And the more are coming. The province was untouchable. But now, the opposition, all of them have moved to the ruling party. That is the symbol, shows that the government of PF is working, not only through delivering services, but also reaching the people's hearts. When you hear from somebody, you think PF is hostile. Go inside. It's one of the best parts I've experienced. It's a part that has got a sense of ownership and belonging.
But also, you hail from the southern province. And allow me to ask this very personal question. When there was news that Bizwell Mutale wants to contest in the PF ticket and wants to, be member of parliament for Munali constituency, many were amused. They thought that you should have stood in an area where you hail from, that is southern province. You clearly have stated that the people of southern province have time and again said, this time around in 2021, we need at least a member of parliament that is coming from the Patriotic Front. Why can't you be that member of parliament in southern province that will come from the Patriotic Front?
I need to state that it's not always about me. No, it's about we. There are so many aspiring candidates running on the ticket of PF.
You're much stronger in southern province.
It's not that I'm much stronger. I'm not that stronger. But as a team, a collective team, we are doing fine. It's not about Bizwell. It's about a team. When you see Bizwell is running in front, it's not about Bizwell. It's about the rest of the team that is racing. Bizwell cannot do anything on his own. But as a collective team, we can do that. We cannot allow a situation where when you are playing the soccer, the person who has scored that goal, we call that person is the best player. No. It's a team. Everyone has got his own role to play in that team so that others, you see the end result that, oh, that is the man who is playing. No, you are just in that position to be able to reach in front. You are being pushed and you are running together. When you pass the others that are passed, team collectively, not individual, not Bizwell, but a team. I am a Zambian. I can stand anywhere I feel. And that's how democratic our country is. That's how democratic Patriotic Front is. We cannot say because I come from this province, I must go and stand in that province. No. We need to change the cycle of thinking. We cannot always be, because I'm in front, I must be here. No. We must work collectively.
But do you think if you stood in southern province in any of the constituents, you'd win?
I would win. I would win, without a doubt. The key thing I want you to understand that Patriotic Front has got a system. And that system that we have is a system that has grown the party. So we can't say Bizwell need to be adopted there, Bizwell need to be done. No, I can only put my application. The people of Munali will decide who do they want to go with. My manifest that I have put in Munali, my manifest came from the people of Munali. And those are it's the manifest that I'm executing in Munali. It came from them, and I'm executing that. And even if I am given an opportunity to go through the adoption, I will continue executing the manifest. It's there. If you meet the terms of the people, they have got the standard terms. This time, all is going very well. And
How
the
well,
government.
how well do you know Munali, really?
I live in Munali
How well do you know Munali?
very well.
There's this shooting that is coming through even from within the Patriotic Front that Bizwell doesn't live in Munali, and so him contesting for Munali is just. How do you respond to that? There are people within the people that say no.
The same thing that I was telling you. You were saying this shoot coming from the social media.
No, no,
do you
social
believe what you read all the time?
These are people we interact with. The Patriotic Front. We're always on this show. People from the Patriotic Front are speaking.
Did you ask them where I stay?
Where do you stay?
No. I'm asking you. Don't ask me first. I'm saying, did you ask them where I stay? You heard. Did you ask them? Do you know where he stays?
But these are conversations that you already know about, Mr. Mutale.
I understand, but I want just to ask you also to clarify that. When they say to you, Mr. Mutale does not stay in Munali, did you have an opportunity to also ask, where does Mr. Mutale stay? Did you do that?
I think it will be clear if you tell us now where you stay, Mr. Mutale.
I stay in Munali constituency.
The incumbent for Munali constituency is Honorable Nkandulu. The Patriotic Front Secretary General, Mr. Davis Miller, has been very clear in terms of who will be adopted. Popular candidates will be adopted ahead of these elections. How popular do you think you are, Mr. Mutale?
It's not how popular I am. I have sold myself to the people of Munali. I'm not competing. If you are to mention the incumbent, she's been there long and she has done what she needs to do. And she's my colleague. That's what matters. But the message that I'm taking to Munali, I am responding to what the people of Munali are asking. I'm fitting very well into the request and the manifest they are sending before any MP wants to come to Munali to stand. And I'm meeting that very well.
My question again, Mr. Mutale, is that the Patriotic Front boss, the CEO of the Patriotic Front, was very clear and has been very consistently clear that the person we are going to adopt in each of the constituency is the person that is popular. Very clear. Not the person with a better manifesto. No. He's been very clear.
You didn't hear me correctly.
And because I didn't hear you correctly, I want to ask again so that maybe I could hear you correctly.
That message is clearly someone who is popular on the ground. And who will get us win the election.
Of course.
And I will. Without a doubt, I will. Winning in Munali seats and gunning 450,000 votes, I can bet with you, I can do that. And I'm geared, I'm equal to the task. It's not debatable. Given an opportunity to go through, to take Munali forward, I have what it takes. And I will not boast the here saying, Munali is too small for my liking. It's too small. My appetite I'm quenched is bigger. Guarantee me to take Munali forward. I will show you what I can do.
You're going against big names, really. You're going against likes of Nkandulu. You're going against likes of Patrick Samwimbila, likely Antonio Mwanza, and many other giants. Your race is not as simple.
I'm not worried about that. They do what they do.
It's quite competitive.
It's competitive, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried about who is standing on the ticket. I am equal to the task, and I'm not going to compare myself to anybody. I'm Bizwell. I have the ability to move mountain. What is in Munali? Currently, if you look at today, what is in Munali? Certain requirements have been outstanding for many years. And in many years, I've toured Munali, I've spoken to Munali people. I have started changing the lives of Munali. I don't see any hiccup that can actually, winning an election, anyone can be put, but can you get the party to win? Anyone can come forward, understand I want to be adopted, but can you get the president, win and get the maximum votes? That's a question we should ask. I am standing here, I'm saying yes, I will gun 450,000 votes of Munali for the president, and I'm equal to the task. It's not questionable.
You'd obviously be disappointed if the party had to leave, isn't it?
I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm a patriotic member. If they choose another member to take the party forward and whatever, I remain patriotic member and I will support whoever has been chosen. It's not about Bizwell. It's about the party and winning the election and getting the president back to State House. That's the key. Not Bizwell to go to Parliament. No. It's about winning the election. Who can take us to that end?
It's not about even bettering the lives of the people, isn't it?
When we have the president into State House back, we will continue what we have started as Patriotic Front, delivering services, which we are doing. I'm an aspiring candidate. I have joined the footstep of the president, delivering the services to the people, which people ask. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. If given an opportunity again to go through it, I'll continue doing that.
Here's the thing, Mr. Mutale. Obviously, the reason why you decided to contest for Munali is because you had seen a gap in terms of maybe social service delivery to the people of Munali, maybe the challenges that the people of Munali are passing through, and probably you told yourself that I think I can do much more better than what is being currently done, isn't it?
I'm going to say this.
Or there's another reason why you are...
No. There don't have to be a reason. I'm a patriotic member. Change starts with me, you, him, and everybody. Someone need to raise the leg. A journey of miles starts with one step. And I cannot sit and wait until that happens. We are in this race as a team. We are in this race to make things happen in Patriotic Front. And I will throw my weight to make sure that I continue also to add value to the party. It's not about anything. It's winning numbers and success in our party.
What kind of Zambia do you envision if Patriotic Front is given another term of 5 years? What kind of a Zambia do you envision?
I like that question that you have asked. My vision for our country, this economy will be fully transformed under PF in the new coming government, under the President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. The economy will be transformed. I am seeing a brighter Zambia ahead of us. I am seeing a country with so much to give, so much to produce. The president of our country has set a pace. And this pace, after this election, we are going to accelerate it. You will see business in Zambia will rise. That I can guarantee you. Business in Zambia will rise because we will focus on a cleaner slate where there will be no one crying foul. PF has focused defending itself by staying quiet, while the opposition were backing. We have seen a lot of negative talks that have been attacking the president and the government. That is a cry that no, the election was rigged in 2016. We are going in now. The next election. This next election is going to be a fundamental election. And the Patriotic Front is going to win by 80% this coming election. Mark my word. And once it goes back into State House, through with those percentages which we are positioning, I can tell you there will be no time of entertaining crying babies. Those who will be talking against the government, they'll have no room.
But you arrest them?
No, it's not about arrest. We are not going to pay attention. Right now, the government is paying attention to them. Because some of them could have gone to jail. But the government is not about arresting others. No. It's a fair play, we're a democratic society. To shut those kind of commotions, we are going to demonstrate it into the ballot. And once that is done, and why would PF actually, may I clear that why would PF win? PF has demonstrated that it's a credible party that has delivered to the people of Zambia, that has actually managed the economy, and democratic playing field in our country. Zambia must appreciate
Let me
that.
ask my last question, probably my second last question in this manner. What will the Patriotic Front do the next 5 years that they've not done the past 10 years?
My brother, PF has got so much to offer. Certain activities that are coming into the play, they're in the baking room. Employment is going to come, and the massive employment. Patriotic Front is putting those policies. The economy will actually improve far beyond what you are seeing now. Post-COVID, it will do much better. And beyond, our currency will improve. These are debates that you are seeing. The lives of the people will actually improve. Our health sector will improve. Our civil servant, their living standard will improve beyond. There is a lot that is being done. Under these difficult situations, Zambia has excelled drastically. And I can tell you now, if you look at the current status of our country now, we are actually in the positive going forward. But there are some who do not agree with the government, but they've got nothing to offer to change that perspective. They've got nothing to offer, but they're arguing. When you want to play in the field, you must have an alternative. You have hosted a lot of people here coming and talk about the government is not doing very well. Those are opposition. Why should we entertain our energy to the opposition? They have already declared themselves we are the opposition. In certain countries, when the politics and the the elections are over, the country come together and rally behind the government. But it's the opposite in Zambia. If I put a pen here, the opposition want to recognize the pen here. That's what has happened to Zambia. Our people in the opposition don't see anything that is happening. They are busy preaching negative and the propaganda into the social media. It's exploding. Certain media houses have joined to scandalize what the government is doing and not doing through their own network, and we can see, we've seen it. We want to have an opportunity in our country to work together. Right now, it's a race. But once the race is over, we will work as one nation going forward.
Mr. Bizwell Mutale, I would like to thank you so much for having made an appearance on tonight's edition of The Assignment. And I wish you all the best ahead of the elections on the 12th, both you as a member of parliament and the president. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank the viewers.
We're looking at Zambia in the hands of PF the next 5 years. My guest has been Bizwell Mutale, Patriotic Front Mobilization Committee member. Join me again on Wednesday as I speak to Honorable Ronald Chitotela, Minister responsible for tourism, as we continue the conversation why PF should be given another chance for the next 5 years. My name is Andrew Mwansa on behalf of my producer and director Mavuto Piri. For now, good night and God bless Zambia.